Jesus a long time. I'm not tired yet. Been running for Jesus a long time. I'm not tired yet.
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Brown, the tight ends and tackles coach at Southern University. This is the 28th, yes, 28th episode of TRILL O-Line Play, where today we're going to be talking about God's play. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to discuss offensive line play with me. Let's go ahead and dive into the overview of today's episode. All right, we're going to be talking about power. Basically, we're going to talk about the details that we use up front, what type of scheme that it is, all right, and how to properly execute the play. We're going to have one game clip from J5. So shout out to J5 offensive line, all right, a legendary offensive line here at Southern University. And then we're going to be wrapping it up with our conclusion and nugget of the week. All right, so let's dive into what God's play is. So basically, power is a gap scheme play. All right, so there's differences in landmarks and assignments and how we execute that play when we're talking about a gap scheme play. All right, so we're trying to build a wall to the play side of power, and then we're pulling the trap, all right, to kick out, all right, from that backside guard on the backside of power. So briefly discussing each man's assignment along the line of scrimmage. When you run power out of 11 personnel, the first thing is the tight end. He has one of the biggest blocks on this play where he has to base out and make sure he gets a great landmark on the inside via the neck of that guy and base this and kick out this in man on the line of scrimmage. All right. So when we're talking about building that wall, it's that play side guard and tackle working on a down lineman with a gap scheme double to a backside backer. All right. So you have a drive guy, all right, and a gather guy, all right, a drive guy and a gather guy, where you're talking about a gap scheme double. All right. This tackle is going to use 9 times out of 10 a gallop technique when he has a 3 technique and knock this guy's hip over to the guard as he works up to that second level defender. All right. So he's working a gallop technique. All right. This play side guard is going to act like he's not getting any help, and he's going to drive that defender off the ball and make sure that he clears the way. And these guys get movement, all right, to this backside linebacker that we're working to. All right. The center is responsible for blocking back on a shade or 3 technique, making sure his landmark is inside via the neck. So he takes big toe, pinky toe step, gets his second step up the field, and he got to drive and move this guy as we build that play side wall. The backside guard is responsible, all right, for pulling with a skip pull, all right, to block and kick out that play side linebacker that's in the box. All right. So he has to be nimble on his feet and move well to be able to execute that play with his skip pull. The backside tackle also has an important block because he's responsible for 2 gaps on the backside of power, where he has to check his B gap, where he steps down and hinges in, checks for the B gap, and then he hinges out and blocks that C gap defender. So that's kind of how we execute. That's the details. That's your base way that you block power versus even look. All right. So here you have some Southern University legend offensive lineman. You got Jodeci Harris. He does a great job of working, all right, that gallop technique with his guard. They're going to work a gap scheme double to that backside backer. Center here does a great job blocking back on his nose. Jeremiah Abbey, another All-American on this line, does a great job of pulling around for that play side linebacker. And then you see this left tackle do a great job of working the gap hinge technique. All right, so you see these 2 guys, play side guard and tackle. Jodeci Harris, the All-American, doing a great job working the gap scheme double to the backside. He works that gallop technique, keeps his shoulder square, knocks that guy's hip over. Great job helping out his play side right guard. Center does a great job blocking back inside via the neck. He's doing a great job with his technique. Abbey does a great job, nimble on his feet, doing a great job working a skip pull, kicking out that linebacker, creating a big crease. All right, for Devon Ben, another Southern University running back legend. All right, and the left tackle does a great job working the gap hinge, checks his inside B gap, all right, and then hinges back out. So that's a great job by this offensive lineman of working an outstanding job of working power. And, of course, we can't leave out the tight end. Gets a great position and landmark, all right, on this in-man on the line of scrimmage, hinges out, hand positioning great with the tricep punch. All right, great job by those guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to discuss God's play with me power. All right, the nugget of the week, prepare while you wait. If you're not where you want to be, first of all, you got to take full ownership of it, but you need to be in preparation phase when you're waiting for that opportunity to come. All right, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have one and not be prepared. So be ready when your number is called. All right. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Coach Brown72. That's my platform for TRILL O-Line Play. And definitely subscribe on my YouTube channel, TRILL O-Line Play, where we release weekly videos. Of course, Monday, we always release the preview of the week. And then on Thursday, we release the full video of TRILL O-Line Play. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed rest.